Welcome to my mess. So, it is Saturday night. We are currently trying to work my son through his book report. He has a book report every month. And they're usually trying experiences. My son is very smart. And his test scores are really high, and his intellect measures really high, and he has a problem focusing on assignments. What would take another kid, a couple hours to do, it takes him tens of hours to do, because he just can't stay focused. And occasionally he even reaches a point where, because something isn't working out, he gets emotional and starts crying. Or whatever. So we sometimes have to encourage him at a fairly high level. And this particular assignment, he has to come up with 10 books or movies to recommend to the that the person, the biography he read, would enjoy. And he comes up with it, and he says, I can't think of any movies that this person would enjoy, which is probably accurate. It's the kind of assignment that really smacks. I mean, I understand what they're trying to get to. They're trying to get you to see the world through the eyes of the person you were reading about, and give justifications for why this person would like something from their perspective, kind of to prove that you read the darn thing, but also that you really comprehended the character, in this case, of the biography. But he's 9 years old. The movies that he's seen are not going to appeal to the kind of person that has a biography written about them, unless it just happens to be another kid, which is unlikely. So I understand why he's having difficulty, because he really is. He's a rule follower. He likes to follow the rules very carefully, and so we're having to say a movie that we think might work, and tell him a little bit about what the movie is like, and then he decides whether it's one that this person would like or not, and then spends a very long time writing it down and writing his explanation. So it's taking some time, and I'm taking a break. I've come down to shoot my video for the night, mostly to get a breather from it, because I used to review movies. I know a lot of movies. I honestly feel that I have a mental barrier when it comes to movies. I don't like movies. And it's not even that I don't enjoy them while I'm watching them, or even afterwards sometimes. And I'll enjoy movies that are terrible. One of the movies that I enjoyed the most, that I remember seeing when I was fairly young, and then, or not even really young, but I was much younger than I am now. This wasn't a movie that I reviewed because I was a kid when it came out. Was Krull. Krull is a terrible movie. We always joke that Krull is, what was it? It's like you had a group of guys sitting around a table at a diner, and they would challenge each other to come up with ways to solve problems. One of them would come up with a problem, and the other one would say, I know how to fix that. And then the other person has to figure out how that plan won't work. And they kind of batted that back and forth, writing down on napkins what the plot of the movie is going to be. It really is not a good movie. But I enjoyed it. And because I enjoyed it then, I can watch it now, and I enjoy watching it now, even though it's terrible. Um, uh, and there's a lot of movies that are like that. Okay, very very few animes have ever made it to my list of movies that I watch a lot of. But I have this. It's Record of Lodoss War. It's the U.S. Manga Corps version, so it's dubbed. It's not dubbed. It's subtitled. It's the first one, not the horrible remade one that doesn't seem to have any point at all to it. Essentially, they took half of Tolkien, stole it, scrambled it, added bigger dragons, and a different concept, a different world concept of how, basically a different mythology around the world, and just redid it. Well, okay, that's probably not even fair. I love that series. I love it. It's let's see, there's 6 tapes, and I want to say there were 3 episodes on one of the tapes and maybe 2 on each one. It's been a long time since I've actually gotten a VHS player out. I need to find a DVD, but I can't find one that is the same version, and this is the one I want. I actually have 2 copies of this. One was given to me by a former roommate, and one I acquired myself. I've got 2 of them in case I lose a tape or whatever. And I watched this series so many times that I do not speak Japanese, but based on the Japanese, I know what's going on in a given scene. And it's been a while, so I'm probably pretty rusty at this, but you could give me the Japanese of a given part of Record of Lodoss War, and I would be able to tell you what that piece of dialogue was, because I had watched it so many times. And I got to the point where I was not even really watching it, I was listening to it. I did that with several. I've done that. I had the old Star Wars trilogy before the Lucas, scrambling, when he added in a bunch of nonsense. I had the original one, which was stolen from me. I hate you people. Whoever did that. I know who, but I get to a point. I would get to the point where I would just put those in. I didn't have television really. I just had that, and I would put them in, and I would let them play, and I would do other things. And I had internalized the movie, so it was playing in my head as I was hearing the sound effects and hearing the dialogue and what have you. And I was watching the movie in my mind while I was doing other things like studying or painting figures or doing whatever it was I was doing at the time, playing card games, whatever. I didn't really need to be looking at it. I just had it on, and it was, I could have had an audio tape of it, and it would have been sufficient. Occasionally there was a scene that I would be like, oh, I want to watch this, and I'd watch that scene. But that's all in the past for me now. If I could find that original trilogy again, I would reacquire it, because I got a lot done while I had that playing, and I think I could, it might motivate me again. But movies as a whole, new movies, I haven't seen. I saw the first 1.5 of the second trilogy. I saw the first one of the third trilogy of Star Wars, as I'm talking about here. I have not been able to bring myself to see any more. My level of distaste for movies has increased faster than my desire to have any more canon for the Star Wars universe. I just don't care anymore. And that's really kind of sad for me, in a way, because it would be nice, to pick up a few more of these series that I could play over and over again and be comfortable with and what have you. But yeah, it's like Dune. I've watched Dune I don't know how many times. They said, hey, well, yeah, there's this great Dune series. It's like, yeah, I'm not interested. I don't want to see a Dune series. I want to see the Dune that I am accustomed to because I've internalized it. It's fine for me. Even the director's cut, which if that ever comes out in a way that I can get a good version of it, boffo. I love that one. But yeah, probably not. Probably not going to happen.